Are my books cursed? I know that's a little bit of an odd question, but I'm starting to wonder because I'm releasing a series called Restless Spirits. Book one is Passion Restored, and book two is Haunt Season. And we have had all kinds of challenges with these books that we have not had with many of our other books. First of all, I will talk about Haunt Season and what I'm currently dealing with. The fact that I ordered author copies of this 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and it took forever for them to print and ship, which is unusual. Normally, when we order author copies, it happens pretty quickly. And the shipment has also been broken up into multiple parts. So I did order some copies of Passion Restored as well because I have been selling, which is good. But the shipments, I did get some of my Passion Restored last night, but other shipments have been delayed for days. They already shipped out, but then they got stuck in transit somewhere because there are so many separate shipments of the books floating out there in the world. So I guess in a way it's not surprising, but the fact that it is happening to these two books when it hasn't happened to any of our other books, I'm finding interesting. Also, we did a book signing earlier this year at it was an Easter event, and it was a lot of fun. We were outdoors, so we had our pop-up canopy, and we put up a banner, and I used twine. So as we were taking down after the event, I was cutting the twine because I didn't feel like trying to fight with the knots that I'd made, and I managed to cut myself in the process. Now, I have Fiskars. I love Fiskar scissors. They're awesome, but they cut really well. So it was a decent, it was deep. It wasn't deep enough for stitches or anything, but it was bleeding. And the only things that I managed to get that blood on were copies of Passion Restored. So you might literally say, I've put my blood, sweat, and tears into this book because there were a couple copies that did end up with bloodstains on them from that event. And it's just been one thing after another. We're trying to get Haunt Season uploaded to Draft to Digital. And this is the first time we have done our own ISBN on a book. So I did the upload to Amazon, no problem. And JT took over to put the book up on other sites. When he got to Draft to Digital, he used the ISBN for the ebook, which we didn't need to do that. The ISBN was supposed to be for the paperback. And he tried to fix that, but the ebook had already been published. So they would not allow the ISBN to be transferred to the paperback, even though it is on other paperback versions. So there's a whole challenge we're trying to work out with Draft to Digital and our ISBN that was incorrectly assigned to an ebook versus a paperback book. Now, I can't imagine that we are the only people to have ever done that. So there must be a way to work around it, to unassign the ISBN to the ebook and reassign it to the paperback so that it is correct and will match up with my other paperbacks on the other sites, because that was the whole point of us getting our own ISBNs. So like I said, it's just been one challenge after another, and I'm supposed to be getting multiple packages today of my author copies of Haunt Season, hopefully. And if I do, I will do an unboxing, and I will be very happy because we have another event coming up on Saturday, and I would love to have some author copies in hand to do that event because they were supposed to come prior to the event we did last weekend, and they didn't show up in time. So that is why I'm starting to wonder whether my Restless Spirits series is cursed because, like I said, it's just been one thing after another, and we have not had these challenges with our previous books. So if you are someone who has gotten a copy of either or both of these books, I would be interested to know if you've had any unexplained activities since you've gotten the book. Maybe they're haunted. Maybe I've actually put some spirit activity into them. I don't know what's going on, but I'm not really enjoying this experience. I do hope that if you are reading the books, you're not having any negative experiences and that you're actually enjoying them. But just it's a lot of strange events. It's kind of a confluence of strange events, you might say. So it will be interesting to see if this continues to happen with the future books I plan to release in the series and to find out if it actually continues all the way through the 6 books that I have planned, because I'm not normally a superstitious person. And really, this is kind of starting to make me wonder because I just don't know what's going on. I can't really explain it. And the whole author copy thing has been such a mess. I mean, like I said, it did not ship forever. When it finally did ship, it was in multiple packages. And then packages got hung up along the way. They're all coming from different locations. And I don't know how normal that is for author copies that people have purchased through Amazon. So if you are a fellow author who does purchase your copies through Amazon, have you ever had an experience like this in the past? I'm truly interested to know, because this is outrageous, and I'm hoping this doesn't continue to happen in the future. I am going to try to plan more in advance in the future to have those author copies on hand before events, but it can be very hard when you're working on tight deadlines, and it really hasn't been a huge issue in the past. So, like I said, I really don't know what's happening, but that's just what's on my mind right now. I have a small stack of the books of, let's see, I have a small stack of Passion Restored, so I am somewhat replenished on that book. Still waiting for haunt season. Like I said, today I should be getting several copies or several packages with copies of haunt season. So we'll see if anything else happens in the meantime. I may come back on later and post a short if and when I get the books today, just to update you on whether or not they actually arrived like they were supposed to, and if they're in good condition, because I don't want them to be messed up either. That would just be frustrating. So I wonder if anybody else writes spooky stories, if you write paranormal kind of stories, do you have strange things happen to your books or as a result of writing those books? Because, like I said, I'm not really superstitious, but this is really starting to make me wonder. I was lunching with a friend yesterday, and she happened to do a paranormal overnight at a local haunted location for her birthday, which I thought was an awesome idea. And she was disappointed because nothing really happened while she was at the event. So she may try it again at a different location at some point. But I've had a similar experience where I have stayed at a lot of supposedly haunted locations and really haven't experienced things. Where I do tend to experience things would be at my home during the course of my day-to-day life, because it hasn't happened recently, but in previous homes, we have had things happen that were pretty inexplicable, even though later on I realized that there could be some logical explanation for them aside from paranormal activity, but at the time they really freaked me out. So I I just don't know. I'm wondering if I've infused some kind of negative energy into these books. I hope not, because I think the stories overall are supposed to be positive. I don't really resolve the paranormal aspects outright because, well, you have to read the books to figure it out. I don't want to spoil them, but I'm trying to make them hopefully have positive endings. They definitely have happily ever afters for the couples involved. But, all the things that happen along the way, I don't really explain whether or not they're true. I kind of leave it up to the reader to figure that out for themselves. So if you have read them, if you are reading them, I would be interested to know what you think. And if you've had any experiences similar to the ones that the characters in my books have had, because some of theirs are a little bit more extreme than anything I ever experienced, because that's what makes it truly spooky. Oh, but I'm sitting here waiting for the mail to show up because I really want my books. And that's why I thought maybe if I talk about it, it might put something out into the universe and actually have my books show up on the doorstep like they're supposed to. I don't want to get another series of emails saying they're hung up somewhere because it's already Tuesday. We have an event on Saturday, and I want to have them in hand by Friday at the latest. And it's going to be Friday before we know it. But that's just one of the joys of being an independent author. I'm sure this kind of thing does happen to a lot of people. I'm sure it's probably not just my paranormal series. Maybe I am being a little overly superstitious, even though that's not my normal personality. But like I said, I really can't help but wonder with these books because it's been one thing after another. And I'm honestly curious as to whether anyone who is reading them has had anything happen, or if it has made you maybe more aware of things that have happened around you. Curious. I'm very curious. So, like I said, I will probably post a short later today if and when those books show up. I'm hoping they do. I might post a short either way to say that they haven't shown up again because I'll be really frustrated and probably want to vent about that because it is getting more and more frustrating as time progresses. And I'm feeling like as soon as we get all these books in hand, I may have to order more just to make sure I have plenty in the house for the rest of this year because I don't want to go through this stress again. It's not fun. But honestly, there are a lot of other stressful things to worry about. We have a lot of other books we can sell. I would really like to have my new book. Is that so much to ask? Oh, I apologize if you've been hearing any background noise. I have the windows open today because we did get some rain yesterday and it's absolutely gorgeous. We are actually, I think, between 40 and 50% humidity today, which is very unusual for this area. We normally hover in the teens to around 20 on. It's very arid here normally, so it feels very nice. The air is soft today. It's a little cooler than it has been. So that's why I have the windows open, but then also we have a lot of construction going on nearby. They are resurfacing one of the roads and they're building a new state building just a couple blocks away. So today's symphony includes a chorus of jackhammers, which is so soothing and really not helping my stress levels. But that's what happens when you live in a somewhat urban area pretty close to the downtown. I mean, we could have purchased a home out in the more rural area, but we wanted to be closer to where we were working at the time. And we do love our house. So we're not planning to move anytime soon. We're just going to have to deal with all the challenges of being in a city, even though it is a small city. I can't imagine how people live in the larger cities where there's so much more traffic noise and people and just, it's mind-boggling. Just going to Reno exhausts me. So I do feel for you if you live in that big city environment and you're not really the type of person that enjoys all the hustle and bustle. Hopefully, if you do, you will sometime get a chance to maybe move somewhere a little calmer because maybe somebody who lives in a calmer area wants the hustle and bustle. Maybe you guys could switch. And now I'm just being goofy. So I will bid you a fond farewell for the moment. I will keep you updated as to the drama about whether or not haunt season is going to arrive in time for my Saturday signing because fingers crossed. Like I said, I got my copies of Passion Restored, which I already had. I want my copies of my new book. I'll stop whining now. Thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm Cassidy Carson, and this is The Life of a Writer. Take care.